Because my grandmother, on my mother's side of the family, always recognized themselves as coming from the Cherokee Nation. This is what my grandmother, as well as everyone on my grandmother's side, meaning my mother's side of the family, has instructed into my mind to see as a unique part of my launching of being a light entity on this earth. And also, along with the Cherokee Nation, I find that my father's side, which is Lewis Cameron, comes from the ancient Kemet side, from the ancient Tutankhamun family. And I know this because the sunlight tells me this. The sunlight tells me and shows me what happened. They came and learned from us. And then as they learned from us, they came back later with caravans of Semites, black people who had been introduced to intermixing with these white colonels, generals, whatever they want to call themselves. They were nothing but criminals. They came in and raped, murdered, and built armies of infidels, Semitics, and went around the world with these Semitics and used black people that had been watered up, diluted with white degeneracy, and taught to hate blackness all over the planet. And that is the reason why to this day blackness is so frowned on, because the people who does not have any blackness deliberately and with malicious intent went around the world and taught people to hate themselves and to love my degenerate ass that's going to steal all the commodities and force you to love me and provide for me and see me as God before I give you your birthright privileges of sustainment back to you. I am nothing but a low-life, murdering thief that'll lie to your ass forever and have you worshiping me as God after I torture and deprive your ass. Because that's how I get down.
I have always loved Kim on the movie screen, from the brain in my heart.
We ask for something in our lives, and especially love. Love, infatuation, sex. They lead the world. I mean, they lead us to run. So, it's no different with Vicky Vale. I mean, she fell in love with Bruce Wayne. And, I don't care if he dresses up as Jack the Ripper and goes and whatever. It doesn't matter. By the end of the movie, I think she could care less about journalism. She could care less about bats. She could care less about the hoopla. She could care less. And so that's why it becomes unimportant.
I mean, love conquers all, even the instincts of a news hound.
Absolutely. It's an old way to put it, but it's not. It lives.
It's really true.
This is where we go from here in our present ascension back to a fifth dimensional existence. As a species, both human and humanoid, these physical bodies we have are not the stiff Anglo-Nazi rigid Aryans who came out of abject darkness of the often draconians and their arrogance and violence in this system which sells this nonsense to the world 24/7. The lower frequencies, males and females, regurgitate this Saxon reptilian violence daily in schools and in their communities. We must, however, applaud ourselves, you two people, that positive energy is already winning this battle over the darkness where it must die. That's right. In the photonic band of light. Consciousness combined with the Mayans' 140,000-year-long projection of heaven on earth currently being released upon the deserving, regardless of where humanity tells this nonsense to the world 24/7. The lower frequencies, males and females, regurgitate this Saxon reptilian violence daily in schools and in their communities. We must, however, applaud ourselves, you two people, that positive energy is already already winning this battle over the darkness where it must die in the photonic band of light. We must, however, applaud ourselves, you two people, that positive energy is already winning this battle over the darkness where it must die in the photonic band of light. Consciousness combined with the Mayans' 140,000 year-long projection of heaven on earth currently being released upon the
Look at the green light. That's what I wanted to see. Look at that. See, now you're not going to sit here and try to convince yourself that all this talk about this photon light and us coming back into the existence of all of our great God lost self-knowledge. It's not scary to you crackers, all right? And I say that because I'm talking about the ones of you that's scared. If you're scared, it's because you know you have a reason to be afraid, and you should know that you're a cracker, because there's a lot of white people out there that knows they have not done anything to anyone and that they have no reason to fear God. They are the ones who know that the Jesus thing was a hoax, and they did not walk around all their lives being involved with that bullshit, so they didn't feel that they were superior over non-white people, because they were wise enough to use science as a launching point to their cognitive accumulation. Now, you can't argue with science when I tell you that if the sun doesn't rise tomorrow morning, you're not going to be able to ask Jesus to make the sun come, because your ass ain't going to rise either. So science is science. You're not going to put no white man before the sun. A dead white man at that. It's just real simple. And this green light right here that I told you sent me here to tell you she's getting ready to burn y'all asses up. As you can see right there in the middle. She makes it very clear. I looked at the sun yesterday. You know what I saw in it? I saw a woman's vagina. I swear I'm not lying to you. It looked just like the vagina that came down on the Ivory Coast. It was an obvious vagina. Then I laughed and I turned my head and I looked back at the sun again, and you know what it was? Let me show you what it was. It was this ray of light right here, but it was real gold. You see this? See how the lady comes down like that? You can see the V that I always tell you about going up. See the X's? You can see them everywhere, look. See all those X's? But that's what I mean. There's the V coming down. You can see them everywhere. That's what the sunlight does. It brings sustained into the earth. See? All those V's. And look right there. All of these are female ports of manifestation, bringing manifestations. You see it as sunlight, but sunlight is what all manifestations are comprised of. The container of any manifestation is just the walls and the container, the hole in the brine, with the brine being the sunlight. Okay? Now listen. What I saw in the sun yesterday was a vagina shaped just like this. Like those diamonds we see. And it was just beautiful. I knew it was pussy. It was not one doubt in my mind what I was looking at. But you know what's funny? When I turned my head away and looked back, this is what I saw. When I looked back again, it was orange. It was like this, as a man with a red phallus coming out like this. And then the body went up. I swear I'm not lying to you. That's what I saw. The sun was saying to me that these two planets are making love to each other. That's what it said. It said that we're in an embrace. And then when I looked at it, I was having a problem with my leg from that scrimmage I had. And I looked at the sun, and that's when I started. Well, actually, I had already talked to it about fixing my leg. And the pain went away. I started walking better. I'm about 91% recovered now. And then as I started walking away, I looked again, and that's what I saw. I saw the two reproductive organs of the male and the female in the sun. So that's the reason why the Egyptian people were so busy making these structures that you see right here with this lady leg forming it right there. It's always in the human anatomy too. When you look at it everywhere, so many ways you can make an X with your body. Look, she just made one right there, see? Remember I was telling you about that? All the positions you could get into to make your body make an X. See how this leg right here in the back crosses right there to make that X? You can do it with your fingers. You can do it by putting your two wrists above each other. You can do it by putting your legs across each other at the knee. In so many ways you can make your body form an X, which is resurrection, that is pathetic. But as you can see, this is that green light that is going to go around this earth looking for her essence in your pocket, in your house somewhere. And if it's not there, you're going to be classified as insubordinate. Understand that.
Serving, regardless of where humanity exists, no more sheeple time, because the gods are back.
That's right. You better know it.
Back to take our higher dimensional treasures and release the inner earth technology to the deserving. Don't let these lying Zionist medias plant.
You see the feathers on the great chief hat? You didn't just have all these feathers in your head if your ass didn't have a sustaining reason to wear them. These were very, very wise people. That's why they were the chief. Then the Europeans come here and say, oh, this is savagery, because the dress attire and everything is not synonymous with they just brought their ass across a frozen ass ocean, probably eating rats and every damn thing to make it here. And then sodomizing each other, all that faggot man shit they were doing on the boat with each other. Then they had the nerves to get over here and label these people as infidels and undesirables on their land, and then murder them, and then prance your ass around right to this day as your white ass skin make you be privileged, where you should never have to be held accountable for these crimes. And that's the reason why I'm so diligent at pointing that out to you, that you have committed crimes and you will be held accountable for them, because you guys walk around here like your Jesus just makes you where you're punish proof. But it's not true, because there's a fire that came here to burn y'all up for all that bullshit y'all did. And I'm trying to get you all to see that. And I'm saying to you, you got a way out. You can repair your damage by returning us to our greatness by buying this green light. And I'm going to build a city, and I'm going to educate our children, whites included too, to all make a world where we don't have to worry about this Zionist bullshit still going on. But you white people and you black people do not want to comply. So you're going to have problems, because I am going to rule this planet, whether you like it or not. And I did bring the green light, as you can see, right in here with this guy too, to back me up. As a matter of fact, I work for the green light. So the green light is not backing me up. The green light is actually what's bringing the fight to you. I'm just the mouthpiece for the green light, telling you what her intentions are. Know that.
Their doom and gloom into your mind. This is why the chief wore the feathers, so that they could communicate telepathically to the entire nation, regardless of where they were. Here is a case of reality in the movies imitating real life, because Kimberly Jackson does feel shame and embarrassment over her feathers, so that they could communicate telepathically to the entire nation, regardless of where they were.
That's right.
Here is a case of reality in the movies imitating real life, because Kimberly Jackson does feel shame. Chief wore the feathers so that they could communicate telepathically to the entire nation, regardless of where they were.
You see this return of Shishet, the goddess? You see her earrings are green? Do you understand the significance of this green light coming in the formation of these black female goddesses? This is what I'm saying to you. This is my sister right here, all through history. See, her name is Set.